All right, y'all. Welcome to Street Church. Come on in, congregation. And for first time visitors, welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, listen, we already know what's going on. If you don't know what's going on, I'm about to let you know what's going on. I'm going to be talking about Fannie Willis, the district attorney in Georgia, and her involvement with one of the lawyers that she assigned um, to the Trump case that's going on with election. I don't know what they call it, election fraud, election interfering. Anyway, she made up some trumped up charges against Trump, uh, but because of her own corruption and her own crookedness, this ain't gonna work. What she got going against Trump is finna fall apart. But I really want to expose her for her corruption because, as a black person, right, somebody who has chosen to be somebody speaking as a black person um, in a professional capacity as a YouTuber, right? And I carry my channel, I believe, with some integrity, right? And at least that's my desired effect. I want to be able to uh, have this channel have some integrity and some transparency, and I try to be transparent as I'm possible. Um, and I wanted to have some integrity. And I believe that in her position as district attorney, that's what she should have had. That's what she should have desired for herself, as to be a district attorney with some integrity. But she has failed to do that, and it grieves me that I can just name all of these crooked black politicians. And I can go back as far as the mid 80s up until now with just crooked black leaders who hurt their own communities. I'm 50, so I can go back that far. I've lived it. I lived in the Obama administration for 8 years. He didn't do anything that you can name right now that's impactful for black people, that's still helping black people. There's no laws, there's no bills, there's no nothing. There's no policies for black people that black people have increased their economical status, social status, health status from the Obama administration. Not even Obamacare has done, leaps and bounds above and beyond, which is his main legacy is Obamacare. But I'm talking about just on the economical, social level, just as far as uh, communities being rebuilt and businesses put in place for black people to help, you know what I'm saying? Which has to do with local government and state government too. But he didn't do anything. There's no policies, prison reform. He didn't do anything impactful with prison reform that's helping people right now. Let's say 16 years later, right? Because there are some policies that presidents have put in place that's helping people now in a good way, that's impacting them now in a good way. Look at the Constitution itself was written in a way to help and protect people even to this day. Excuse me, and that was wrote hundreds of years ago. The civil rights bills, those things put in place impacted people. But Obama didn't give us anything like that. He did the opposite. He hurt this country for 8 years. And what he put in place allowed The 4 years Donald Trump did some good, it was all torn down with the next 4 years of the Biden administration. They picked right up where Obama left off. So really, you got 12 years of Obama policies and politics put in place to do us harm. Anyway, I'm going to be talking about Fannie Willis because she's a prime example of the crookedness and corruption of politics here in America. And just in particular, black leaders. I'm just seeing it all over the place. She hired her own lover, Nathan Wade, to oversee the prosecution of Trump in the election fraud or election tampering or whatever you want to call it. Whatever she was charging Trump with, her lover is who she put in charge of it. She hired him. He wasn't as qualified as the other lawyers, but he got paid more. They were also okay. They had a look. This is what's even more evil about it. Fannie Willis and Nathan Wade received funding for like gang crime prevention, right? Basically to help the young ones that was out there gang banging, right? And whatever crime prevention. And even rape kits. Listen to me. This woman was taking money from rape kits and the gang prevention to help juvenile gang members to try to help them, right? It was supposed to be to get them things and do things for them to try to help them. Like, you know, help them to rethink their what they say, think, and do. As gang members, they was trying to turn them into former gang members. You see what I'm saying? Try to turn them into productive members of society. Rape kits. Money for rape kits? They out here stealing money for rape kits and this gang prevention funding that they received. Lots of money. And what was they doing with the money that they was stealing? Buying computers and swag. Why? To sell it. To launder the additional funds. To launder, to loot. Laundering and loot was the intentions of Fannie Willis and Nathan Wade, her lover. Right? And it's all coming out. It's a girl that was ready to blow the whistle on Nathan Wade, and she intervened and fired the girl to keep him out of trouble. There's a young lady, it's a tape that's circulating right now of Fannie Willis dismissing the accusations that the girl had against Nathan Wade. And listen, this will make it so spooky. He told her that ain't no need for you to go to Fannie Willis because she got my back too. And whatever you tell her, she gonna tell me. And so Fannie Willis dismissed her accusations because she knew what time it was. Him and her was involved. And she tried to say it in a way to save face and you know, as a contingency against being caught up herself. But her and her lover need to be fired. And the case against Trump need to be dismissed because it's something she built up. And she did it on behalf of the Biden administration. Make no mistake about that. I don't have to say allegedly nothing. She did it so Biden could have another charge against him. They're trying to make something stick against Trump, which I don't even, listen, I'm not a Trump supporter or a Trump non-supporter. What I'm talking about is that this corruption, we're not paying attention as black people, black Americans. We need to stop choosing people because of the color of their skin, like they're going to be for us. We've already had too many corrupt politicians. The woman that was in West Baltimore, uh, with the Freddie, what was his name? Freddie Gray situation. That woman was corrupt. She was crooked. Who was she in line with? Aligned with? She was aligned with Al Sharpton. She had Al Sharpton come there and had men be around her like she needed protection, like she was being threatened or harmed and stuff. It was the farthest thing from the truth. She just didn't want to speak to the reporters. So she had Al Sharpton come down there, and they just pushed the uh, media around and away from her so that she could save face instead of being accountable. Then she allowed them to loot. The behavior that's going on was birthed by her. Her actions in West Baltimore is why we're at where we at. This is why we're at no bail. This is why we're at in New York. You know, they have no bail, no cash bail policy. They can just get out. Chicago the same way. This is why we got the purge laws that they put in effect, where these people, I don't think they could be arrested for all of these crimes. It's like 10 crimes, 10 serious crimes, that they can't even be arrested because of what they call is the purge law. That's what they called it in Illinois. You know, that went in effect last year, the beginning of last year. So these ideals are coming, and look where they're coming from. They coming in predominantly black communities from black leaders. Black leaders is coming up with this stuff. Critical race theory, DEI, no cash bail. What's going on in San Francisco and in what's going on in California, right? And it's coming from minorities, not just black leaders, but I'm just saying, as a black person, I'm watching all these black leaders have all these failed policies that they're fighting people and tricking people into believing that somehow some other entity, like for instance, Republicans, right, want this and want that, and it's MAGA and it's white supremacists all the time. They are doing the things that are racist and bigoted and prejudiced against their own people. Okay? Make no mistake about it. Look, this is street church. We're going to lay this all out here. This woman was taking rape kit money. She was taking gang prevention money and lavishing herself and her lover, Nathan Wade, with gifts and vacations and trips off the taxpayers' dime. And it's federal funded. So this means all across the board. This ain't just Georgia's taxpayers. This is taxpayers, U.S. citizens' taxes. She's corrupt and she should be fired, and she should be forced to resign. Her and Nathan Wade, her lover. They should have to resign, should get fired. And she should not be able to work. She should be disbarred. Him and her. They both should be disbarred. And they shouldn't be allowed to work in Georgia politics anymore. Or any other politics, really. It's so easy for the feds to come in and mess with other people's lives, right? Who the Biden administration sicks on them, right? Like some dogs, sick them, right? They do this and people get banned and they get blackballed and they try to make it hard for them, you know what I'm saying, to have any kind of life at all, any semblance of a life. But they keep on being lenient with these people. But she should be forced to resign. She should have the privilege of being in politics as a politician. I don't care. Alderman, district attorney, she should be disbarred. She needs to be made an example. And all of these black politicians, let me tell you something. They done went in Chicago and they done hired a male Mayor Lightfoot. That's all he is. Brandon Johnson is a male version of Mayor Lightfoot in language, and in law. That's what he is. He is not going to get anything done for Chicago. Nothing of any significance to put a dent on the crime in Chicago. And when they say 16% down, this is what they've been bragging on in Chicago, that the crime rate has went 16% down. 16% of 1,000 is not good. You see what I'm saying? So, like, if they have 500 or 600 murders last year, and it goes down 16%, how is that a good thing? That means, what, 60 or 70 people less that got murdered last year, since there's only 60 or 70% of the people murdered last year? That's good? Come on, put it in perspective. If carjackings was 1,000 carjacks, people got carjacked for their cars 1,000 times, 16% of that? Come on. What, 160 less? How is that a good thing? That's not a good thing. That's not a start. That's not a good thing. Not unless this year it goes down 33% added to the 16%, which would mean, what I say, 33? That means it would be 49%. Now, if it get down to 49%, we talking. Because you dang near cut it in half. But that's what the goal should be. And that's what you should be continuing to do till it gets down to there. By the end of this year, it should be down 49%. Anyway, Fanny, I'm here to tell you, as a black leader, you disappoint me. Because first of all, your first issue, when I saw that it wasn't looking good for you, and I saw you in the darkness, right? When I saw you in the light, but I saw you in darkness and light was shined on you, was the situation you had going on with some kind of relationship you had with somebody that was on the other side of the gang from YSL, Young Thug situation. You was a lover with somebody from the other side before you ran the RICO on Young Thug now. And I think you was involved in that. And I think somebody sent you that way towards Young Thug because of that relationship you had. So that was shady. And shout out for whoever working with Trump to expose you, right? People who mean good, people who need to show you for what you are. Thank goodness they got the ball rolling with the Young Thug thing, because it wasn't good. That wasn't good. Come on. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. We have to do a better job as Black Americans, right? We need to learn the Constitution. We need to learn the laws that govern us and stop this stupid mentality of the man is against us. Systemic racism. The system is built against. No, it's not. Listen, the Bible teaches us that fools perish for a lack of knowledge. Your lack of knowledge about the law, about the Constitution, about local, state, and federal law is the reason why me and you, we are in trouble. That's why. We're in trouble because of that. Fannie Willis, there's going to be somebody to take her place and do the same damage to us because we don't care about these things. How was it that nobody was involved, like from the community, that knew, that didn't ask where these funds is going? Why is this program not off the ground? Why is these basketballs looking used? But Fannie Wilson is driving in a good car, and her boyfriend too. Nobody asked this question, why she in a Benz. But this program, you see what I'm saying? Which the Benz come from the program ends. Why isn't this program looking like it should look? Having the stuff that it needs to get these young people to change their mind about wanting to live a street life. Gang prevention. To make the gangs look less attractive, and make these programs look better for them because they so young and they can still be influenced. But what did you do? What did the community do? They either turned a blind eye, sat on porches and gossiped about it, but didn't make grievances about it to their local government to get some eyes on what she was doing, to stop that in the first place. Now, millions of dollars embezzled and spent and misused later, now all we got is we talking about what she did instead of preventing her from doing it. Because we didn't care. And those who did care, they probably didn't feel like it's something they should speak on. Fear, intimidation, or lack of education, or not knowing the law and how to proceed in filing a grievance about it. It was as simple as that. People could have filed grievances about even the young girl who was on tape, that got Fannie Willis on tape. She didn't know what to do. Because if she had known the Constitution like she should have, and the local and state and federal laws like she should have, she would have known she had to go around and above Fannie Willis and Nathan Wade to get something done. She blew the whistle at the person who could silence the whistle she was trying to blow about Nathan Wade. But that's because of a lack of knowledge. She didn't have the whole thing, the whole grasp about local, state, and federal law, how our government worked, the Constitution, none of this stuff. We don't have it in our communities like we should. And a lot of times that gets us involved in hating the system that could work for us if we knew the system and how it works and how to apply it. That's what makes us angry, is the lack of knowledge about the system. And that's why we say the man is out to get us. The man this, the system is systemic racism. This is why we talk this stupid stuff. This is why this resonates with us. Because it's a lack of knowledge. And they know it. They counting on it. Us not gaining any knowledge or sense. Why do you think they're trying to replace real history about this country and the real leaders that we once had in the black community? They're trying to destroy that. They trying to make politicians our leaders, and that ain't how it go. Our leaders and our elders should be honored and respected. Stop trying to call them big homie. Stop trying to call them old heads and try to think of it another way. This person just got out of prison. He did 11 to 15. He don't want to go back. Look what it did to him. It changed him from some ferocious, lion, savage criminal to somebody that's got some sense halfway. So why did that change? Let's learn that this system, once you get caught up in the criminal system, once you get caught in it, it's going to do this, and that to you. We should be blogging and YouTubing about all of this stuff that happens when you in prison way more than what's happening on these streets. But we don't do it. We do more talking and bragging and semi halfway in and out them streets in our conversations when we blog and YouTube than more than we condemning it. We should condemn it, and it should be solemn. It shouldn't be double minded, because we get this kind of corruption. The reason why Fannie Willis only knew to steal, you see what I'm saying, and destroy things is because of her own lack of knowledge. She wasn't brought up, trained to be a honest black leader with some integrity. She came through the ranks through crookedness and corruption from our own black leaders, seen it. That's why. But we can change it if we get on a local level with it, learn our local government, learn the Constitution, learn our local, state, and federal government like we should. And we should be doing it by the hundreds and then the thousands. And we should be doing it from state to state, city to city, town to town, village to village, as black Americans. All right, y'all. This is Street Church. I'm going to let the congregation out. God bless.